Today we're going to take a quick look at the X package on the Defender. We're not going to be driving this particular Defender because it's in the middle of the showroom, so I'll include driving of a Defender with the inline six. It'll drive identically to this X that we're filming today. So with that being said, huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover in Lehigh. They're providing us with this Defender. If you have any questions, need any help, just ask for Bradley. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the 110X. So this is an inline six Defender, but fully decked out. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is the hood, how the center section there is, well, the hood itself, right, is blacked out, whereas the fenders are body painted. And that blacked out element continues around the headlights, the center, around the fog lights, and on the bottom. So it definitely gives the X a unique look. But yeah, turbo inline six, 395 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. You also get fancier wheels with the X as well. You see a really nice finish on them. They're going to be larger than what comes standard on the other Defender inline sixes. So that's a little bit different. And then you can see the vent piece has been blacked out, and then it's blacked out at the bottom too. Like nicely painted, not unpainted like you're going to get in a lower trim. With the Defender, you get the painted mirror cap and roof. So this package is kind of all about two-tone, I would say, in terms of the appearance. And those wheels, actually, they're newer wheels for the Defender. They actually look really cool, I think, in terms of the design. Simplistic, just works. They also paint the brake calipers. That's another big part of the X. They're not different brakes or anything, they just paint them. And then even the recovery points are painted. So they just do a lot of little things to make the X package look just a little bit different. And then you'll notice you still have the swing gate in the back, a little bit of storage there. And I wish more SUVs had this design. I love it. I know that it's not as easy as pressing a button and having a hatch open, but it's just way easier to load stuff into. And I'm not that tall, but I'm a little bit taller than the average person, and I hit my head on hatches all the time. You can also raise and lower the air suspension from the rear, which is nice. And again, back to swing gate. You don't have to worry about hitting your head on it because it you know what I mean? It's not going up, right? So, yeah. And then I like how you have the little protection on the back of the seats. I think that's another nice element. And it just looks cool, right? Because then with that, you can put a spare tire on the back, because you can't put a spare tire on a hatch that moves vertically, but horizontally, yeah, you can do that. Now, the interior is another big upgrade with the X. You get the nicest materials on the door panel. You're still going to have all the rubberized stuff and everything throughout because it's a Defender, but you get the nicer seats as well with the upgraded leather. You've got options with colors and everything. And you can see the resist trim there on the side. I'm kind of seeing more of that in Land Rover. Their cloth trim, though, like, it's really nice stuff. Heated seats in the back, you get USB ports. And that's the other thing, is it's going to come fully loaded with all the options. So being a 110, you're going to have the little Alpine windows up top. And also, you'll note that it's going to basically, like I said, put everything as standard, so you don't have to add a bunch of options like you would with a regular 110 inline six. Again, really nice trim here. You can see all the window controls, memory seats. You get the upgraded sound system with it. And then with the front seat. And the trim is softer. I wouldn't say it's necessarily more comfortable. It's just the texture is softer with the X versus the regular Defender. And that's why you guys see me like touching so much stuff throughout the reviews, by the way, is just getting that kind of tactile element, because that's a lot of the difference with certain packages. And then you do get a digital cluster here in the center. This is pretty much standard across the Defenders. Now that there's not really, you know, part supply issues for the most part, it's pretty easy to just have all the tech, and it's cheaper to do screens anyways. And then you got all the physical controls down below for the air suspension, the climate controls, they're the multifunction controls that do the drive modes too. Little shifter. And again, even that trim is kind of like softer. Center console cool box. Again, that's going to be another thing you're going to normally add on a regular Defender, but this just comes with it right out of the gate. Got Defender there on the dash, which I think is pretty cool looking. Camera rear view mirror with this as well. And then you do have a nicer headliner with it compared to a standard Defender. Panoramic center, it's kind of hard to see with the lighting. But this does come at a bigger price tag, right? Because most of the equipment, not all of it, but most of it is standard. You can see there's still a lot of options. Land Rover likes letting people customize. But anyways, over $100,000 for the inline six. So that is a bit of a price difference, but I'll include footage of me driving another inline six that'll drive the same as this, air suspension, everything. So let's get to it. Defender 110 with the inline six. This is, in my opinion, personally, the best vehicle that Land Rover makes here in the US market. I love the full size, I love the sport. And I like some other packages on the Defender, like the V8 and the Octa, but the price point that the inline six is at, especially if you like kit this out with the off-road stuff, it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. Like, they got that new trophy edition, which hopefully I can review one of those. But yeah, I mean, with all the off-road stuff, not too bad for what you're getting luxury-wise and then off-road capability-wise. And even this version is going to be very capable. So the thing about the Defenders is you kind of got to split it up in your mind. You've got the people like myself that would actually take the thing off-road, but then you have the larger demographic that'll never take it off-road but wants something that is off-road looking, and then is very competent on-road in all sorts of weather conditions. And Land Rover, I think, provides that better than any other manufacturer, because like I said, the packaging on this is great. This vehicle is heavy because it's heavy-duty construction. Like, why does the, you know, why do the Land Rovers weigh so much? You know, some of that is going to be the leather and everything, but at the end of the day, it's just the construction. They beef the big Land Rovers up a massive amount. Once you get up to Discovery, and especially Defender, Sport, and then Range Rover, everything's really beefed up for a unibody vehicle. So it is heavier, but I mean, it still has independent suspension, air suspension, handles well. But that means that it can take some abuse. It can definitely take some abuse. And I've reviewed some Land Rovers with 100,000 miles, and I'm super impressed with how well the vehicle holds up. Obviously, we'll talk about the potential issues that can come up with Land Rovers a little bit later, but in terms of like the interior quality and just the overall vehicle itself, it holds up exceptionally well. Oh, there's our arch nemesis, the Lexus GX 550. Anyways, the power delivery on this inline six is phenomenal. It's incredibly smooth, smoother than any V6 ever. V6, like in the GX 550, can't compete with this engine when it comes to smoothness and just overall power delivery. And the suspension's incredibly comfortable. This handles incredibly well. And it's, you know, even though it doesn't have like the super thick glass, it's actually pretty well insulated. It's quiet in here. And if you don't get all the off-road kit, the wind noise is not really bad. You're going to get more wind noise though because it's boxy, but again, not as bad as the GX. The GX actually has more wind noise than a Defender. So it's not like you're getting less wind noise with this. The spacing in this is great again. So the GX 550 is like 200 inches in length. Now, if you look up the Defender length, it'll say something like close to 200 inches. That's with the spare tire. If you just look at the body of the car, this is close to like 190-ish. It's similar in size to a Jeep Wrangler. And that's what's so impressive about the Defender when it comes to the dimensions and everything, because it's big inside. This feels much bigger than any of the Toyota product. Like you guys know I have an LX, which is the big one. This feels bigger inside than my LX, and part of that's the headroom space, but it's also just the width. With unibody construction, you can put everything low in the vehicle because it's not a body on a frame, so you can put everything down low, and it means there's tons of availability for passenger space. Hey, look at this power delivery. It's wonderful. You've got tons, more than enough torque, more than enough power. Again, I think everyone's kind of coming to the realization, like anywhere from, depending on the car, 200 to 500 horsepower, like that's all you really need. Heavier cars obviously need closer to the 500 horsepower range. But I mean, even then, like the Ineos Grenadier only has 282 horsepower, and that feels fine. And it weighs more than this even. So this drives really well. Looks fantastic, very comfortable, great packaging. Like in the off-road SUV segment, Land Rover has the best packaging by far in terms of how big the vehicle is, in terms of dimensions, and how much space you have inside. And they're incredibly capable off-road. The biggest thing that we all can agree with on Land Rover needs to fix is the tire fitment situation and the wheel fitment. Like the brakes they do on these vehicles are just, it's a heavy vehicle, I get it, but like my Lexus has 17-inch wheels on it. So like in it, I don't feel like it doesn't have enough stopping power. So they need to adjust the brake fitment with this so that you can fit 17s and 18s on these Defenders. And then, you know, just overall tire fitment, you can only fit like a 32, maybe a 33. It would be cool if they did just a little bit more, like, you know, 34. And they don't need to do 35s. 35s look great, but like if you could just fit within the stock wheel well and ride height and everything without rubbing a 34, I think that would be ideal. But yeah, these are reliable. I've talked to a lot of people that have owned these, and look at the comments in this video. People that have owned these, they like, if you just get an inline 6 Defender, they do really well. You know, some people can have issues here. Again, I had some computer stuff with mine, but you know, for the most part, people seem to have a really good experience with them, as long as you don't modify it. That's the one problem, is if you like do lift rods or something like that, where you jack up the air suspension to put bigger tires, then yeah, you're probably gonna have problems. But if you just do the Land Rover accessories and, like I said, just keep things stock, they do really well. They actually do really well. And so this is the Defender to get. I love the, like I said, I love all the other ones, but the price point that this is at, the performance this provides both on-road and off-road, yeah, it's just, it's hard to beat it. The value proposition with this is incredibly strong. And every single time I drive one of these, I'm like, man, I miss owning a Defender. And that should tell you, like, I obviously didn't have that bad of an experience, because if I had that bad of an experience, I wouldn't miss it, you know? So that is the Defender inline 6. Apparently I can't, this is easier to park than my car. That's the other thing, is because this is unibody and has independent suspension, it is so much easier to park than the solid axle body and frame SUVs, because it's like you can be really precise. Look at the camera system, like you can see the lines up top too. I don't know, I think it's pretty neat. So inline 6 Defender, don't sleep on it. They're a lot more reliable than any other Land Rover, and they're just reliable, period. I'd be willing to bet that right now, with the engine issues Toyota's having, this is probably more reliable than that Lexus that I'm driving.